Gujarat, Eklavya University, JHRF, ARGA, and Edu Academic Inc. Now, let me introduce our esteemed expert. We are honored to welcome Dr. Ankita Jain, a distinguished academic and dynamic leader in human resources and general management, a PhD in HR with multiple postgraduate degrees. She brings 7+ years of experience from institutions like Sri Vaishnav and PIMR Indore, an alumna of IIM Indore's FDP. Ma'am has authored 30+ publications, presented 45+ papers, and holds a patent addressing unemployment. She currently serves as convener international affairs at the Research Foundation of India and is an active speaker, life coach, and editorial board member with contributions to platforms like the CARE International Journal. With this, I now invite ma'am to begin today's session and share her insights with us. Over to you, ma'am. Ankita, ma'am?
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Asmi, and thank you so much, Research Foundation of India, for this opportunity on this particular workshop. And today we are going to start with the session in which I am going to talk about role play methodology for innovative teaching today. Just give me a minute. I'll be sharing my slides with you all. Yeah. So as we already know that there are so many methodologies and styles can be there by every one of us, which we are following in day-to-day teaching. And because of that, you can say that everybody has owned a style and understood that what exactly can be done for their particular subject and in particular, I mean, for their particular topic. So we all understand that what exactly need to be followed, but still there are so many innovative teaching pedagogies are happening, and people are following various methodology for their subjects in which they got the mastery. But still today I am going to discuss about the role play methodology specifically, which is about the one of the it's kind of game which we are following in our teaching learning. So already you have talked about already in these sessions you have understood about the case study method for teaching, also live projects and various group discussions for innovative teaching practices. And today, as I am going to talk about various I mean technologies techniques especially which we follow in the role play. So let me share my slides with you all. So once again, can somebody please confirm that I am audible and my slides are visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so as I have said, I am going to talk about understanding the role play methodology for innovative teaching. So let's talk about it. Tired of traditional lectures? So let's explore how
Yes,
role play
ma'am.
can
Your
transform.
voice is audible and video is also visible.
Yeah. So let's explore how role play can transform your classroom into a dynamic hub for the innovative teaching. So tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, but if you'll involve me, I may learn. I will learn sure, for sure. Means you can see that you may be learning number of things, but when you do it by yourself, you learn it in a better way. Basically, the role play as an innovative teaching learning has evolved as a very good strategy in which the traditional approach and the as well as modern approach can be taken care. So, role play is a form of experiential learning, and the role play method of teaching is an educational technique where students spontaneously act out the scenarios and they explore the complex issues and the perspective related to the subject matter so that we can understand what exactly can be done. And this approach encourages critical thinking and helps students to engage with the key theories and concepts by embodying different point of views and the situations. Simply, when sometimes the students are not able to understand any complex topic and they are not able to understand any particular situation, so with this particular methodology, this kind of experiential learning methodology, they can learn in a better way. Also because it's a kind of educational technique for the teaching, so in this students basically play and they also act out different scenarios and they explore different they are participating in this particular activity. So role play methodologies involve students acting out scenarios to stimulate basically the real life situations and enhancing the learning through the practical experiences. Now, it has roots in the ancient civilizations where drama was used for the educational purpose. Even today as well, drama is used for the purpose of understanding anything, which is giving them a better insight about something. The actors who are playing the roles properly and having strong acting skills, they most of them are the part of been the part of the dramas. And even nowadays the nukkad natak also a kind of drama where the role plays the students are doing and they are doing nukkad natak, different drama groups are doing nukkad nataks and everything to show a message to everyone. So that is again giving an better suggestion or insights to the people and putting some good impression in the people's eye. So it involved into a structured teaching strategy over the time. Role play promotes active participation. It fosters the creativity. It improves the communication skills and enhances the critical thinking and problem solving ability. So role play has lots of advantages. Whenever we are doing this kind of activity, it is helping students for better communication. So first of all, better interpersonal communication, I must say. Then also understanding the group communication, participating actively in various activities like role play, like which we are doing, and it is also helping them to play confident for other activities. So active participation fosters the creativity because they are doing it by themselves. They are having something in their mind and they are doing it by their own choices, like how they can make their own role more better in a more better way. Also enhancing the critical thinking because they have to take some decisions, they have to come out with the solutions. So decision making, critical thinking, and problem solving, these three things are also being the part of this role play activity. So role play in teaching is basically in an interactive instructional strategy. Two things: one is interactive because they are talking to each other and involved with each other, and also taking instructions or following the instructions said by the mentor that allows students to engage actively by assuming roles in the various scenarios. So, role play in education is a structured activity in which students assume their character and also identifies and act out the scenarios that relate to the subject being studied. So, this method encourages again critical thinking and it helps students different perspectives. And the process typically involves three things. One is planning and preparation, interaction, and the third one is reflection and evaluation. So first, whenever you are planning for a role play, so you have to think about it. You have to plan what exactly it is all about, what exactly they have to play, what kind of role they have to play, and what should be the scenario, what should be the context, and about which situation are they are going to discuss, what is the issue this that can be discussed, and they have to plan and prepare accordingly. Next one would be interaction. Once the planning is done and the preparation is done, the student will start interacting and the people will start playing their roles. And finally, they will reflect or evaluate. Means once it is done, after that, the evaluation and the reflection and the appraisal of the acting would be done. And then there is one question comes in the mind of the people that what exactly should be evaluated, what can be evaluated, and what parameters should be set. So basically, in this case, like I would like to give one example about like dance. If we talk about a dance, in that case also there is one thing. What exactly you can see, what kind of theme they have taken, what kind of dresses or attire they have chosen, what kind of song they had chosen, what kind of message they are delivering through the message, what kind of synchronization, coordination is there between them. Anything, whichever you think is relatable. Like this, you in the role play again, you can take the parameters like number one, it can be the confidence level, it can be their communication, it can be their body language, it can be their communication with others, it can be how they are
इधर से
interacting
रास्ता
with
बना रहे हो
others
उधर कोई
and they are allowing each other to work or speak up, and how they are helping others to speak up. Are they really being the part of the group? So there can be so many things which can be judged. Okay. Apart from this, how effectively they are talking on the issue, and are they really coming on the point or not? So basically, you have to check that are they relatable, are they actively participating, and they are discussing particular issue. So you have to decide the concept and then a student will act out. So any of the parameter you can choose for the evaluation. Then incorporating the role play not only makes learning more enjoyable, but also enhances language production and communication skills, as I have already said, because they are not just speaking, they are just not talking, they are communicating with others, and communication is always two-sided. So they are communicating with others, they are talking with others, and it is really helping them to understand more things in a better way. So, if we talk about the purpose of the role play, so number one, to present the interpersonal problems. Number two, to provide emotional and affective stimulus for solving the problem. Also, to develop a situation for analysis. As I have said, you must be having some context in your mind. What exactly should be discussed, what should be done, and what they are going to do. Somebody would be there as the mentor or the instructor, and most of the time at the same time I must say the most of the time the same person should be the evaluator, because the person who is preparing and planning for the acting, that person knows the key points of the same. There can be someone as an external person as well, but still there should be someone who is doing it, that person knows what is expected and which kind of rules are expected from the people. Then to prevent the alternative course of action, also to prepare for the future muting future situation. Sometimes this kind of activities are like happens for the purpose of understanding uh, the person's qualities and abilities for the future situations. For example, if somebody is going to be assigned as the project manager for upcoming project or any new project, and you want to check his abilities, will that person be suitable enough for that particular activity or not? In that case, simple. It simply works like that, that you have to understand in this way, that will that person be suitable. So you have to set such kind of situation where he can act out in the kind of real life situation. You can give them that kind of scenario, you can give them some task which he'll be following or doing in this kind of role play, so that you can check that if it happens in the future in the real, so how that person will react. Then to develop an understanding of others point of view. Also, role play provides one thing, that is understanding others' point of view. Means you can also, by doing the different acts and roles, you can understand and develop an understanding basically of others' points. You can keep yourself in others' shoes and understand what kind of things or they are going to play. Then to convey the information to develop these specific skills. Also, the role play make different concepts as a real and relatable. Also, people can be the part of the role play and can being actively participated. They can prepare themselves for the future expectations. Again, it also helps to develop the communication, problem solving, and empathy, and promote critical thinking by seeing issues from the multiple perspective. Different perspectives can be taken care of. Next, enhancing the communication and social skills as well. Also, it fosters empathy by understanding different perspectives. Also, encourages active learning and engagement, because you are being the part, so you are actively learning as well as you are engaged in that, and it makes learning experiential, where learning about particular service directly or by yourself is also important. It also helps encourage the perspective taking. I mean, the different perspective, or you can say perspective taking, where by acting you can also learn about someone else's understanding and how others think, how others feels, and how others react. So how others think, feel, and react, you can understand by this kind of activity. It helps you strengthen the problem solving and the critical thinking skills. Also, it develops or helps you to practice real life situations in a controlled setting. The controlled setting means, for example, if you're going for a project, as I have said, in the future, right now you can the situation can be created in such a way that that you can react, or you can get the same kind of environment right now, and later on you will be reacting or working in the same kind of environment. So it will be really helpful for you to understand whether is that okay with you to like, would you be able to work in that environment or not. So like, companies taking chance on you, or you are taking chance on the project, that whether you will be suitable or not in that particular setting. So this is how both the parties, like the employer as well as the employee, can understand that how would you be how good you will be in that particular setting. There can be a possibility that company might be thinking about you as well as your one of or two of your colleagues for the same kind of situation, and there can be a kind of competition where they must be thinking about taking one of you for that particular project in the future, not all of you. Okay, so in that case, again, they can give you the same kind of situation and can check whether who is working in a better way. Also, if we talk about the employees part or anybody the part of the students, it also helps them to foster the teamwork as well as the collaboration. And role play often involves basically group dynamics like negotiation, delegation, supporting one another to achieve a goal. And also, the most important thing which role play gives, as I have already said in the beginning, it also gives you, uh, uh, lots of confidence. That how would you react with the people in a particular way. So this also gives you confidence. Also, it connects the theory to the real world context, so students are able to understand or bridges the gap between the classroom learning as well as practical application. So this is very much important whenever you don't feel, you feel shy, or you have a stage fear or something like that. So this kind of activities can help students to learn in a better way, and you can develop such kind of things for them in them by doing such kind of activities in the class. So it is not only giving you chance to understand the actual setting about the role plays, but also going to provide lots of things apart from the activity. So there can be so many benefits of the role play in teaching. So it will enhance students engagement, first of all. So role play basically captures students interest and making learning more interactive as well as enjoyable. So they are going to learn the topic as well as they are going to enjoy because they are doing some activity. Develop the critical thinking skills where they are engaging in role play exercises, challenging students to think critically, and they are also helping them to analyze the such solutions and making informed decisions. So, what does it mean? The making informed decisions means because they are there and they are taking or helping or taking chance on what can be the best solution. So, every group can give you the other solution for any particular situation. So, it can be anything. So students must take quick decisions. They can help or understand how to take chance or adapt to the unexpected challenges and think creatively. So basically, ultimately, that is going to provide them lots of skills adaptation. Then provides practical experiences through role play. Students apply theoretical knowledge into practical scenarios and gaining the valuable hands on experiences in a safe learning environment. So ultimately, they are going to give a controlled situation, controlled setting, and the safe learning environment where if they are going to make the mistakes, that's not the problem. They can learn from the mistakes as well. And also, they are allowed to take decisions, and the decision would be informed decisions. So, because of that, they can understand that what can be more better than this. So, again, increase retention of knowledge because they are doing it. So, it will be retained in their mind for the longer period of time. Real time feedback and the reflection. Again, if we talk about the uh, evaluation process, so because they are doing it then and they are going to get their marks, you can go for the marking or the feedback or the suggestion towards their acting that time only. So the real line feedback is also there, so they can learn from whatever they have done, and from these they can take the feedbacks. Generally those feedbacks should be constructive. Even if they are doing something wrong, they have taken any wrong step, you should not scold at them. You should provide them some constructive feedbacks, not the destructive, so that they will be feeling motivated for the next time and they will do it. Now, next one would be empathy development. Then safe space for the risk taking and learning from the failures, as I have already said, because you are going to get the safe environment, the controlled setting, so you can take the risk for the wrong or right answers. If that is something is wrong also, then there is no problem, you can learn from the failures. Encourages creativity and the innovation. It also helps you to take do something new while you are acting out. You can show your skills, and you can show your X factor. It increases the learner's motivation and participation, as I have said, because when the students are participating, so it gives you lots of motivation. It helps you to build the confidence, especially in terms of language and communication based subjects. Also, it bridges the theory and the practice and encourages the reflection as well as feedback. So, better retention and understanding, development of communication, whether it's a verbal communication or non-verbal communication. Also, it encourages the listening, questioning, speaking, and clarification of the questions if they are having anything in their mind. It again, helps you to perform in front of others, which helps to overcome their shyness and build the confidence. Critical thinking and problem solving, as I have already mentioned. Teamwork, collaboration, real world applications, where they are where students can prepare themselves for the real life situations like interviews, negotiations, patience, everything. So role play is a teaching strategies where learners act out the roles and the scenario to explore particular situations and develop understanding and practice skills in a simulated and the safe environment. Now, types of role play. So there can be so many. I have mentioned these four. So there can be some structured or unstructured as well, or semi-structured role play, where the detailed script is provided, are ready for the students to follow. So this kind of role plays can be structured. Sometimes the teacher are providing the situation, roles, and key points, but students are writing the or improvising the exact dialogue and everything. So it can be semi-structured, or when it is like improvisational, where it is unstructured, so only the scenario is given and the students create the roles, dialogues, and outcome freely, so they are having all the rights for doing that. There can be a conflict role play where they are getting the situation of any particular uh, types, where two different conflicts are happening. There can be some cooperative where they are helping each other somehow in a particular way. There can be information gap role play, where one, for example, middle level to senior level, there is a communication gap, and some kind of role plays can be played. There can be lower level people who are directly reaching to the super main top level. There can be a gangplank situation where the students are playing such kind of role. It can be a based role where they are getting a situation and they have to complete a task. There can be some role reversals where a student plays role opposite to their real life and unexpected perspective, what was expected from them. And sometimes they have been given a role of a teacher, and teacher is playing a role of the student. Some kind of situations can be created. There can be some simulation role plays where they are going highly realistic setting or environment, and so that they can mimic the real life conditions. So there can be so many types of role play. Again, there can be some single role play where few students only performing while others are watching. They can be given a small role. There can be some free role plays there where there is no script, only the scenario is given. So uh, there can be some analytical role where their short roles are played or followed by immediate breakdown. There can be forum role play, large group role plays can be there. There can be uh, a hot seat related roles where the one student is taking one role and sits in the hot seat and others ask them the question, kind of KBC. Okay, so there can be so many which can be played for the purpose of understanding the situations. Now, why use role play as an instructional strategy? So role play is an instructional method, as I have already said, because the instructions are given how to play some roles, how to act in a particular way, in a particular setting. So role play is can be an instructional method that helps teach students a particular or desired behavior for a professional setting. So behaviors are the best learned. As I have said, when you are involved, you are doing something. So learn with doing are the best learned and taught by interactive and experiential techniques. The non-interactive technique methods like lectures are not effective for teaching behaviors, for eliciting behavior or changing from the students. Teachers can observe students during the role plays, exercises, and if necessary, they can intervene to produce desired changes in a students' work ethics behavior. So there can be two, three types of feedback if you know, or two, three types of control if you have learned in the control. There can be feed forward control, feedback control, and the concurrent control. For example, I'm just giving an example. If a company is producing or manufacturing some of the clothing or any kind of fabrics or any kind of goods they are producing, so there can be some products which can be defective, which can be seen once it is made, and you can see that these are being defective and those are kept aside. But every time if you're doing it, then there will be a lot for the defective products. In that case, what can be done? Simple. There can be one person who can be standing in between or kept in, eyes can be kept there so that we can see that where the problem is happening. For example, there are 5 steps are happening. So the product is being defective on the step 1, 2, 3, or 5, 4 or 5. So this can be identified and the problem can be resolved there only, so that the defectives uh, cannot be found, means defectives can be avoided. Now, maybe if the product is being defective on the very last step, for example, step number 5, which is the last step, and you're just getting the final product at that time. So, what will happen? Again, you will understand that this is not the right situation where the product should be taken care. Means when you know that it is going at step 5 or step 1, you have to keep your eyes at there only, so that even the product does not get to the end. Means there is one thing: input, process, and output. So input there can be something in the process. If the input cannot be avoided, there can be something wrong at the time of process. So there also there is something can be kept, and in the last, once the product is done, so it can be done in the last as well. So feed forward means in the beginning, then concurrent while doing the process in the present, and once it is done, the work is done in the last, the feedback control. So this is how it is working. So as I was on this particular point, that the teachers can observe students during the role play. So stu- uh, if the there can be some role plays which are done, and now teachers are observing same kind of, instructor is observing same kind of problems. So whenever new group is going to start, you can give them some suggestion that this is how it should not be in this particular way. So they will take care of that thing while they are doing any role play. Maybe while they are playing any role, you can stop there in between and you can note down the points, or you can say that this is happening and you have to repeat it. So you have to start from the beginning, and this can be changed. This is how you can instruct them, and you can intervene in between. Okay. Or The last thing which you can do is you can note down the problems which are happening, or you can see, or you can observe. And in the last, once it is done, you can tell them what happened, what was the wrong thing happened. Okay. So there can be 3 steps. Now, the role play exercises should involve the real cases and the real problems so that students are they can feel likely to encounter to in the workplace settings. So the old topics, the old situations should not be followed. You should take something real so that they can also correlate and can understand the situation. So role play is used in teaching because it turns into learning, also active, engaging, and real life or realistic experiences rather than a passive process. So it is a kind of active process. So it helps students not just hear information, but actually live in the safe and guided setting. So it makes learning active and students participate directly instead of only listening. So in the lecture, we just listen and learn. But in the role play, what we do, we also participate. So we just only don't hear the information. We actually live and do it. So we directly participate, not only listen to it. So movements, dialogue, interaction, and everything improves the focus and energy in the classroom. It also helps it also helps in retention and understanding, because the instructions are given a particular concept and the situation. Also, it builds communication and the social skills and strengthen the critical and problem solving skills. And because it also needs supports and teamwork and the collaboration so that they can go ahead in a particular direction with the help of instructions. So that is why it is also an instructional strategy. Implementing role play. So there can be a step by step guide to implement role play as an instructional strategy, or you can say how to implement the role play and how to use the role play for the learning. So, number one, you have to select a problem. Once the problem or the situation is decided, issue is there, then you can construct the role play accordingly. You can cast the player, you can decide who is going to play the role. Then you have to brief the student what exactly needs to be done. You have to tell them what exactly kind of role play they are going to have. You have to give them a script for the same. You have to brief like what exactly they have to do. Then they will start doing it. So role play actions they'll be going to start. Now then the discussion will go on and the analysis will happen. So while they are discussing, they are reacting, they are talking, they are participating, they are doing that particular role play. You can analyze their actions and you can evaluate them accordingly, what exactly how they are reacting in a particular way. So basically lights, camera, and action. So like this, you have to script, and then you have to brief, and then they will react, and you have to evaluate. So there can be again some steps for effective role play. There can be one, setting the objectives. So you have to define what a student should learn or the experience. Then you have to select the scenarios, choosing the relevant and realistic situations in which exactly they can do it. Assigning the roles and ensuring the clarity and fairness in the role distribution. And finally, preparing the students and providing background, expectations, and the support. Like, but you can prepare the student by providing a particular setting, what background, and we are going to follow. And then accordingly, you have to tell them what is expected from them, and then finally, they can support. We can provide the support. Then conducting the role play. So allowing students to act, interact, and adopt. Basically, generally, what I You should give them feedback. You should not intervene in between. But whenever the next group is starting, you can ask them to take the feedback from the feedback which has been given in the last. Debrief. In the last, you have to discuss the experience, insights, and the learning outcomes. So, as I have said, you have to define the learning objectives. You have to clarify or decide what you want from these students to learn, what exactly you want, knowledge, skills, or attitudes. Then as I have said, you have to select the scenarios, or you have to create the scenario. So it should be short, realistic, and clear. So basically, you can choose the situation which can be relevant to the lesson of the real life context. Then you have to assign the roles, as I have said, in different perspective to emerge, and assigning the specific roles to the individual groups and other people who are involved in the particular setting. It can be teachers, manager, any particular student, anyone. Then you have to provide the background and instructions like context, facts, role descriptions, any rules, interactions, any goals, anything. Then again, they will conduct the role play and you can debrief and react in a way that what exactly they have done. And you can provide the feedback to them, uh, like constructive feedback, especially in related to content, communication, teamwork, creativity, and the peer group work, I can say. And last one you can do as the follow-up activity. That also taken into the consideration. Now let's talk about the examples of role play. So there can be so many. Like one is interview practice. For example, in the preparation of career interviews, students can assume the role of the interviewer or the interviewee. In this, you can divide the class into two parts, half as the interviewer and half as the interviewees. So the interviewers are researching on the common interview questions and practicing the active listening, while the other half assuming as the interviewee role. So they have to prepare the resumes, they have to practice the answers about their skills and experiences, and it helps both the side feel more confident in the real interviews. For the kids at the small level, like smaller students, you can also make them learn about like any kind of how to order the food, how to order something, which how they can practice, or they can be polite with the conversation while they are ordering or something like that. Next one is marketing. It can be in the preparation for a class presentation. Students can assume the position of a sales representative and they can sell a product. Here, students can create a present marketing pitch for a new product and acting as the sales representative. And this teaches them persuasive communication, product knowledge, and the audience engagement. It can be a counseling session. In the preparation for the clinical practice, students can play a role of family therapist whose client has revealed she has committed a crime act, for example. So it's like there are people. One is a therapist, another person is a patient, and talking about their problems, and they are practicing active listening and navigating on a difficult situation, and understanding or portraying a client situation, and communicating and also coping with the mechanisms in a particular challenging situation. It can be a teaching related. In preparation for a job fair, students can play a role of a teacher and a student. It can be administrator and the students, or it can be a teacher or a parent. In the college level, also there can be so many situations or issues which are arised, might be between the teachers and the students. can be with the administration, director level, or the top level, and with the students. So any kind of situations can be taken care by the role play. So role play scenarios in a school setting can help to equip future educators to handle diverse situations and practice basically the clear communication with the various stakeholders. It can be any debates as an spontaneous exercise. The instructor has students briefly prepare arguments for and against the arguments on a particular topic. So there can be two parties. One is against the same, and one is in the positive side. And it can be a theme debates where the instructor throws a curveball and the students have a short time to prepare the arguments for and against of a controversial topic, and this hones their research and critical thinking and also persuasive speaking skills on the fly. So examples could be environmental issues, it can be historical contracts, or even daily inconveniences like flight delays. So basically something where students can connect with each other. So it can be related to law and justice, where they can have the moot court competitions. The student can play the role of judge, lawyer, witness, accused, anyone. There can be some career guidance session where the roles can be played as the interviewer, the candidate, HR, anyone. There can be some healthcare or hospital related training where some can play the role of nurse, patient, doctor, family members, anyone. Hospitality and tourism related can be a hotel manager, guest, or receptionist. Like in the marketing, as I have said, you if there is a launch of a new project, a product in a competitive market, so you can play the role of the marketing head, sales executive, competitor, any tech person, anyone. In the psychological counseling, you can play a role of a student, a counselor, or any kind of parent. Anyone can be the part of that. So again, there can be so many examples of the role play by different categories, where the parent teaching meeting can be there, science fair presentation, history movement, or any freedom fighter movements can be there, any career related orientation can be there, any tourist uh, is there in the city, elections camping and everything. So now let's talk about the learning pyramid. So if we talk about the learning pyramid, if we lecture or listen to something, it's 5% of retention after 24 hours on an average. Reading gives 10%. Audio visuals can give, the 20% of it. Demonstration, when you see by doing, somebody else is doing and you are looking at it, it can be a 30%. And we talk about the discussion group, which has an active learning styles, can provide you 50% of this. And in the last, practices by doing, so it can be 75%. Also, there is one more, that teaching others or immediately use. If we are doing it, like we are learning and teaching to someone else, it gives 90% of the retention after 24 hours as well. So, if we talk about the passive methods like lectures, reading, results in lower retention because learners are mostly just receiving the information. When it comes to active methods like group discussion, practice, and teaching others, results in higher retention because learners are engaged in practicing and applying the knowledge. And role play basically falls under the practice by doing and teaching others, which are at the top of the retention scale. So if it is someone else, so to read, basically it gives lesser chances. when we experience something that is more retained, so lesser we read, hear, see and hear, discuss, experience, this goes more and more upside down, and we learn it in a better way. Okay. So if we talk about the strengths of the role play, so it helps strengths of the role play. It helps or make abstract more problem more concrete. It provides immediate feedback. It involves comparing and contrasting the position take up on an issue. It promotes lifelong learning and also facilitates lifelong like expression of attitudes and the feelings. It promotes opportunity to speculate the uncertainties. It develops sympathetic understandings. It gives you strength as an active participation where learners are directly involved and making the session more engaging. A real life situation where it replicates real situations and helping learners by applying the knowledge in the safe setting. It improves the communication skills where it is encouraging speaking, listening, and nonverbal communication. It involves direct experiential learning. It involves applying the knowledge to solving the problems. It boosts the confidence and allows learners to practice response and behavior without real life consequences. It also encourages or demonstrate a practical integration of knowledge, skills, and the abilities, and involves manipulating knowledge in the exciting ways, where it facilitates various teamwork activities and promotes the cooperation and understanding among group members. It also involves learning across many areas in the curricular content as well. So basically, the role play as a teaching or training method offers several strengths, and that makes it highly effective and involves participants ensure greater engagement and the interest. Basically, the role play is giving you lot of knowledge and helping you to understand about your verbal and non-verbal communication skills and helping build the confidence by giving learners the opportunity. There can be applications in different subjects. Number one, business and management, so negotiation scenarios, leadership situation, crisis management can be there. Healthcare, doctor patient interaction, emergency response, law and politics, courtroom trials, diplomatic negotiations, legislative debates. In the language learning, real life controversial conversational practices, customer service scenarios. There can be social sciences, historical reenactments, cultural exchanges can be there. In the mathematics, it can be like making more abstract concepts like practical through the everyday scenarios. It can be moral education, encouraging discussion on the values, dilemmas. Challenges in the role play. There can be very few. So some students may feel shy or reluctant, but you can encourage them for doing such kind of activities. It can require planning and classroom management, so obviously you have to put extra efforts. So sometimes it can be challenging with the completion of the course and everything, but yeah, you can do it in a better way by replanning it. And once you have planned, you can use it in times in other different classes, different section, and for the next year's classes, next sessions, and everywhere. Time consuming if it is not structured, properly structured, and risk of going off the topic and not meeting the learning objectives. So sometimes it can be a lack of clear guidance, it can be unequal participation, difficulty in evaluation and assessment, also. And sometimes if you are not able to deliver the proper script, so it can be off topic behavior. Anything can be there. There can be sometimes you need some resources and everything. Now, so real world opportunities for learning through. So real world opportunity for learning through experience and the performance. So role play is just not a creative addition to teaching. It is a transformative strategy that brings learning to life by simulating authentic experiences, and it empowers students to engage more deeply, think critically, and develop real world skills. As education evolves, role play remains a timeless and adaptable tool for the innovative educators. So, in the conclusion, the role play brings a real world scenarios to life, fostering critical thinking, empathy, and engagement in a classroom. It's a powerful tool to motivate these students and solidify their learning. So thank you so much. This is all from my side. If now somebody is having any doubt, they can ask me and I can help you with them doubts clearance. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're having any doubt, you can ask me.
Are there any questions or doubts, anyone?
Ma'am, one question is in chat box. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, one question is in chat box.
just a minute. Yeah. The question is, what is the role of empathy and perspective taking in this methodology? How can you use role play to teach students and understand different point of views? So basically, see, the role play methodology uh, is basically allowing you to play different roles. Means you are not playing your own role, but you are playing or taking somebody else's position. So this is also helping you to understand the same situation, or they are into the same situation. Like sometimes we ask, if you would be at my place, how would you react? What can be your reaction? What could be your reaction? So this is how role play is helping in different how this is helping them, like stepping into the basically other shoes, and you can understand the character and the situation they are portraying basically. Also it helps you to understand the others emotional realism. Also, understanding that what exactly others may be thinking when they are there. So sometimes it's like when you are actually in that situation, you understand that why others have reacted in the same way. But once we are looking at in the from the front, so sometimes we do not understand that exactly how it should be. But when it comes to the actually when you are playing that role, it really gives you that situation. So basically, in the when the real student actually acts as the uh, play of somebody else's, and they also understand the empathy for the same thing. Also, they understand their point of view and their perspective. So this is how the role play can help you to understand the empathy and perspective taking. So you can also connect with the others' feelings and their thoughts. Both are needed basically whenever you are taking this any kind of roles. Have you got the answer? Dhirendra Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other question, anyone? Any other question?
Are there any more questions or shall we end this session? Ma'am, shall we conclude then?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
A heartfelt thank you to ma'am for such an enlightening and engaging session. Ma'am, it was truly enriching. I would also like to thank all the participants for their active participation. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you so much, ma'am.